Embrace change. You would think in the fashion industry, it's words that we live and breathe by. But in actuality, we're very traditional and we're very sort of archaic in everything that we approach. A quick story, personal journey of digital for the last 17 years in the industry. It was almost prescribed that you needed to be in fashion, but you needed to work off Microsoft, Oracle, web trends. You needed ATG as a platform. You also needed to have a cube, a Cognos system to extract the data. Then a revolution came that we needed Salesforce to connect all the different communities around the world. I just named about 7 or 8 systems, and project management to do all of this is not only time extensive, but it's very complicated. And in every one of the packages that I've mentioned, they're always upgrading, right? And fashion really prescribed to this model. So I went on this journey in fashion, and it's been quite amazing at how slow we've been in adopting change. I joined Burberry, and we were one of the leaders in adopting change within the industry. But even at Burberry, it was a marvel thought to introduce something outside of a non-Microsoft iOS device about 6-7 years ago. Recently, they've adopted and moved further. The key that I would say is, as I've continued my journey into AllSaints and becoming CEO, it was clearly evident we needed to move, and we need to move quickly. Before I talk further about why we adopted Google, what I wanted to do was give you a little taste of what we're doing at AllSaints. First, we're based in East London. Second thing is, we are not a retailer. So retailers make stuff and sell it. Our aim is to build brand. And it's a very experiential brand that we're building. In terms of the model that we're adopting also, it's very unique. In our industry, what tends to happen is you produce and create product, and you have distribution channels, either through your own channel in retail, your .com, and you partner with wholesale partners, JV, franchise all over the world. At AllSaints, what we've adopted to do is to do everything internally. So our teams create amazing collections that we flow on a regular basis. Oftentimes, a couple times a month, you see new drops of merchandise. Additionally, we produce all the furniture and fixtures in our stores. Something very, very unique. We have about 113 locations currently, projecting 120 by the end of the year. Every one of those locations is branded, and the touch points are affected by AllSaints and our 2,500 family members all around the world. In everything that we're doing, we're going against the grain of the industry, trying not to be a retailer. A funny story which I'll share with you. In our industry, it's quite funny because we have this fabric fair a couple times a year. All the designers go. They'll meet in Paris, and it's the same fabric fair every year. They'll come back, they'll design collections, we produce it, and then you runway it, and then you get editorials. And as you're going into runway and you're seeing the reviews of what you've done, there's shock and horror always in our industry. And it's absolutely marveling why the industry would be shocked and marveled by it when you bought from the same fabric vendors and everybody's astonished that the color palette's the same and the fabric's the same, right? So a little bit more glimpse of what our industry is like. So what we said at AllSaints is, let's take this archaic model. We don't have the time. If we followed what everybody else did, that's no longer revolutionary. Second thing is, if we followed the practices, it's going to take us too long. We're 20 years as a brand, and our aim is to think big, right? And be very big in everything that we're doing. So in everything that we said in terms of brand, is we needed clarity. And the big thing that I just wanted to highlight from this slide is the fact that many brands exist, but there's not a single word that associates brand. And for AllSaints, that one word is creative. Our aim is to link the creative communities around the world, and it's the one word association. I think a lot of brands exist, and there's not clarity in terms of who their DNA is. We seek to go global. So our strategies are very simple. We think we have tremendous growth opportunities all around the world. As I mentioned before, the uniqueness of our environments, we're bringing the ethos of East London all around the world. The way we produce product, our design team is 34. Design and aesthetics is everything that we own and prize, and it's no different to some of the leading brands of the world. So for us, our aim is to do it in a different way. A DNA product is the biker jacket, and last year we've celebrated in communicating not only the biker jacket in store, we've created content and distributed content all around the world. A business model that we're opting for is we do not spend a penny of media spend in somewhat of the traditional media spend with magazines and newspapers around the world. Our aim is to connect the world of communities and the creative communities, and as we aim to dress these creative communities around the world, our aim is to create content with purpose, with branded stories, and curating it on a very digital basis. So for that reason, we actually think, right, I've emphasized already, we don't want to be a retailer. There's many retailers in the world. I think more and more consumers are becoming unique, differentiated, and they want that experience. So for us, we actually think we're a digital brand that happens to have some stores. We don't want to be seen as a retailer with an excellent digital strategy. We're actually a digital brand that happens to have some stores. So with that, I just wanted to share a video with you in terms of how we connect our customer bases around the world. So just to reiterate, our model, how are we very differentiated in the industry? Clearly, the way we opt to run our business is not as a retailer. We're operating as a brand. And underpinning everything is the fact that we operate as if we're a digital company in its nucleus. Second thing is in terms of everything we do, we go against the grain of the industry because, hey, we don't have time. We don't have the same time. And if we've adopted the paths that were laid out before, it would take us too long. So in everything that we're doing, what we think is we're creating a culture of design thinkers. Creativity isn't just about designers designing new product. We think that we have a lot of creative talent. It's institutions and companies that have historically said talent in IT, talent in finance is not creative. Well, our definition of creativity is actually using the intelligence that our family members of 2,500 employees have to solve our business issues. So when presented with the option of what are we going to do? Are we going to go down the traditional path in fashion of the Microsoft and the 7-8 packages, or are we going to adopt something that works at home? I go home and everything works. I go to work, nothing ever works. So taking a very simple principle, we applied the method of design thinking throughout our organization, and that's how our partnership was born with Google. By the way, we signed our contract on December 31st, and I'm happy to announce that as of yesterday, we're fully implemented. So it's a myth. It's an absolute myth to think everything takes 18 months. It doesn't. So we think Google is absolutely our enabler. And the first image that you actually saw was a motorbike. It was a biker exhibition during New York Fashion Week that we were able to showcase our biker project. We actually think that Google will be the engine to help drive our digital strategies and becoming our branded strategies and helping us expand globally. On that, I'd like to just conclude with one last video.
AllSaints is a global fashion brand with over 100 stores and concessions worldwide and a world-class device-agnostic e-commerce platform. Every day, over 500,000 people interact with AllSaints in some way. We're a digital brand focused on providing the best experience at every point in the customer journey, from in-store to our digital platforms to after-sales. To do that, we design and create everything in-house. AllSaints is completely unique in this way. We create the clothes, we design and build our stores, we create the furniture that goes inside them. We built and coded our own website and our apps. All of our brand films are created by our in-house studios, and our teams create the entire AllSaints experience. We don't look to our competition to decide what we'll do. We focus on how we can strengthen each facet of our business from within. That means it is critical that we stay hyper-connected to our vendors, distribution networks, customer services, and our in-store stylists. Google Docs and the Google Drive are one of the very few tools that can not only keep pace with how fast and nimble we want to work, but they actually help us to go even faster. As a growing brand, we need to remain constantly connected to our consumer and always looking ahead.
We get the most out of our Google Apps because it allows us to share the right information with the right people at exactly the right time.
Each of our store managers is equipped with their own Nexus tablet to power the use of Google. Now our CEO can do a hangout with a store manager in any store with the push of a button. We've empowered our team on a store level to be active brand ambassadors because they have access to all things AllSaints.
On the product side, all of our vendors are fully connected to our company with their own Google accounts, access to our docs, and even their own Nexus tablet. Google is changing the way we bring our collection concept to reality. We can bring products to the market faster and more efficiently than ever before.
We're in the process of expanding to new markets, and Google Hangouts has created an entirely new way of communicating with our teams. For example, our team in Asia can tour our flagship store in London and instantly feel connected and a part of our vision. We can edit documents and presentations in real time, eliminating the need for redundant versions, edits, and unnecessary meetings. And that's really why Google is such a powerful tool. It's not only about what it's added to our lives, but what it's taken out to allow our teams to focus on the important stuff. Our use of Google has empowered people on every team at all levels of the business. We're hyper-connected, but obsessed with enabling our team to create their own success.
The truly unique thing about AllSaints is the people. The pride, the energy, the vision, the way people collaborate is like nothing I've experienced before. But Roger Federer is no good without a racket, and Google Apps is the tool that will help us harness this incredible potential.
The greatest innovations are often the quiet ones, the ones that change the way we communicate, the ones that bring us together. For us, that's Google.
Thank you.
Thank you, William, for sharing that. I think genuinely authentic, passionate and insightful kind of journey that you've been through. I just thought that was absolutely tremendous. I think we had 2 stars of the video down there as well. Amazing. Maybe one final question for you as well.
Yes.
In terms of pushing something into your business or the pull that you had from your employees, how did you manage that? What was that like? Did you have your kind of demographic of employees looking for a different kind of system or tooling? Were you really saying, you have to do this?
Well, I think the one thing I'd like to just mention is the fact that age has nothing to do with change. And what was amazing is if you strip out the management, our average age is 27 in the company, 26, 27. And you would have thought that everybody would have been adopters and they would have embedded and embraced change. We actually found that age, ethnicity, gender, background had really nothing to do with it. There were just people who embraced change, and I think the biggest thing was many people just feared it. So our aim was just to over-communicate and lead by example. And I know it sounds quite generic, but a lot of it is to just appease everybody and tell them it's going to be okay, and this is the only way to go forward.
Fantastic. A lesson for us all then. Okay. William, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.